Beyond Synth 399.
This is the story of four friends. Andy Last, Marko Merrick, Florence Bullock, and Michael Oakley. Together, they set out to have the best conversations of all time. Here, at the Beyond Synth Round Table.
All right, well, look. I guess, this will just be the show then?
I guess.
Yeah, this will be the show, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? What else is it going to be?
Good question. All right, well, and this is, listen, we're here, okay? This is the round table, and we are technically waiting for Michael, but he is taking a pee or something. I don't know where he's at. So I'm here with Florence, and I'm here with Marko. So, hi, Florence and Marko.
Hi.
Hi.
So, so listen, it's been a while since we recorded one of these, so I should just tell the listeners that this is when I record a show with Florence Bullock, aka Glitbiter.
Hi.
Sorry, I've given you two intros.
That's me. Yeah.
And then there's Marko, who obviously co-hosts the Marko and Andy Power Hour.
Hey, everybody, good to be back. How you doing?
And then Michael Oakley, synth-wave musician, singer, who is normally here, but he's out somewhere vandalizing us. What do you call those things? Speed cameras?
Speed camera?
Speed camera, speed traps, we call them in Australia.
Where Michael lives, there's a speed trap outside his house that keeps on getting destroyed, and I think he's the one doing it. And so that's what I think he's doing right now.
Yeah, they put up a new one.
Yeah, so that's what's going on.
Gotta go fuck with it.
So, when was the last time? It's been a really long time, hasn't it?
Very long time, yes.
This is the first time in the new year.
But even then, I think it's been a few months, right?
Yeah, and we're in May now.
Yeah.
This thing airs in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had just moved into my new place when we recorded.
Is that true?
Almost. Yeah.
Were you still laying on your back?
No.
What?
No, I haven't done that in a minute. Thank God I don't have to do that anymore.
You said it was better. That's great.
So did it resolve? Like what happened? You had sciatica, right?
Yes, I had very, very bad sciatica, which made me get 2 surgeries, and that was fun. But it took pretty much a year for the pain to go away.
Yeah.
But it's almost gone. It's 95% gone.
That's fucking awesome.
If I move my head in a weird way, which is not how I normally hold my head, I can still kind of get some pain, but everything is manageable. I'm a normal, functional human being again, which is great.
Was it actually supposed to be 2 surgeries, or was this first surgery a fuck up?
Well, I don't know if it was a fuck up. I don't know if it was the surgeon or if it was me, but essentially I was doing okay for 2 weeks after the first one, and then I re-herniated the disc in my back. So I don't know if the surgeon didn't maybe he didn't scoop enough of the herniation out, or I just fucked it up. Who knows?
Is that what people do? They scoop it?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. So when the surgery I got was called a microdiscectomy. Basically, when you get a herniation, it's think of a hamburger.
I am always thinking of hamburgers.
I know, Andy.
It's my favorite food.
I know. Especially Wendy's.
But okay, when you get a really terrible hamburger and you pick it up and all of the stuff inside of it just falls out of the back.
I love this metaphor.
That's exactly what happens when your disc herniates. So essentially, all the hamburger goop came out of between 2 discs in my back, and basically the surgery is to go in and just take all that stuff out and hope for the best. The stuff in between your discs, it kind of comes back at some point. It heals when it heals, but basically the microdiscectomy is to get that gross stuff out of there, because that gross stuff is the thing pressing up against my sciatic nerve,
Right.
which is making my leg really fucking uncomfortable.
I don't like how discectomy sounds too close to vasectomy.
It does.
Oh, I guess it makes sense. So then discectomy, you're sectoming the disc, and then the other one you're sectoming the vas deferens. What do you do in a vasectomy?
Oh, jeez.
It must be vas deferens, right? Why is it vasectomy?
Are you asking me,
Well, I'm going to ask
the
ChatGPT.
resident doctor?
Well, I don't know. We're talking about vasectomies. Hold on. Let me.
You should know, Florence.
Okay. Why is it called
I don't know why.
a vasectomy? The term vasectomy originates from the Latin word vas, meaning vessel, and ectomy, meaning surgical removal. Oh, there you go. That's what the ectomy is. In this context, the vas refers to the vas deferens. Fucking right. Which is a tube that carries... Anyway. Okay, so we're good.
Dr. Andy Last.
There you go. Wait a second. So the term vasectomy comes from the Latin word vas, but the vas also refers to the vas deferens.
The double meaning.
I'm sure the fucking surgeon who made this up was like feeling clever that day. We'll call it a vasectomy because vas for the Latin, which means
I don't know, how did this get brought up again?
Oh my God.
because Florence had the discectomy, and then discectomy sounds a lot like vasectomy.
So we have to go down that rabbit
We had
hole.
to.
Okay.
We had to.
All right, fair enough. Well, at least you know now. At least you know.
Yeah. I feel smarter and wiser. How about this, Marko? You want to play me some music?
How do you pronounce his name? Coleurs? Couleurs?
Yeah, cooler.
Colors.
Color. Just normal.
Colors.
Colors? Well, why's it spelled like that?
Colors.
Anyway, all right. So I got a new track here from Colors. It's a really good song. Really love the vocals in it. It's called This Life.
All right, and that was This Life by Coleurs.
Cooler.
Well, because I mean, like, his Couleur is what it, like the French pronunciation, but like, it's not a French artist. I think he just did that because he liked the look of it or whatever.
Yes, he is a local LA synthwave artist.
There you go.
But listen, man, if you're gonna write it like Couleur, that's the way it's got to be said. And I'm here with Marko and Florence. Michael Oakley is still MIA. It would be really funny if he's just MIA for the whole thing. Are you
sure he knows we're recording?
Well, I thought we...
Are you sure he knows? Because this is weird.
Well, unless, like, he's getting the shit kicked out of him or something. Because we did say in the chat we were talking about recording.
Maybe his toilet is on the blink and he's outside shitting. That could be an option, too.
So, Florence, I have chatted to Marko in recent episodes. So what's new in the life of Florence?
I went to London.
Ooh, how was that?
It was really fucking awesome.
Cool.
So you went there to see music shows.
I did. Two of my very favorite bands were playing 5 days apart from each other. And I wasn't going to sit here like a clown and not go to that. So I went to it and it was great.
So what were your bands? What was the itinerary and what'd you do in those 4 days in between?
So the first show was Pendulum from Perth, Australia.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I used to love that band.
They were I was like really, really into them 13 years ago, and then they were like, we're going on hiatus. I'm like, cool, I'm never gonna hear that band again.
Yeah.
But they're back and they're like super active again, which is really exciting.
Yeah, they had 2 albums that were really good.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god, I love them so much. And I had to like rediscover them because I'm like, oh man, I used to love this band and now I love them a lot again. And their show is like seriously one of the best shows I've ever been to, maybe the best show.
Oh shit.
It was great. They played the O2 in London. It was huge. It was like a huge show.
Oh wow, it's a fucking arena, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, it was great. And then the second band I saw was Mew, which is another one of my favorite bands, completely different style of music. And they were playing with the Danish Chamber Orchestra, which was really, really cool. They played in a concert hall and that was fucking awesome.
When you were like, I have to go to England to see this thing, was it because that band was playing with the chamber orchestra? Like, was that the...
Well, yeah. So Mew was doing a tour. They did a few other dates like around Europe, but they did not come to North America with the orchestra. And they've only done this like once before, and it was like just in Copenhagen. It was very special. And I'm like, well, I have to travel to see this. And then I'm pretty sure Pendulum also just hates North America, so they're like never going to come here. So I was like, well, I have to go across an ocean to see this, so I'm going to do that.
So it was just a coincidence that they were playing so close together for you?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The stars aligned. It was fantastic.
Did you do touristy things? What else did you do when you were there?
Well, I did. My mom actually met me halfway through, and she went to the Mew show with me. The Pendulum show is not a mom-friendly show, so she did not come. She did not come to that with me.
Define a mom-friendly show.
A show that's not really super loud and has not a lot of people.
Okay.
Because there are lots of people. She would have hated the Pendulum show.
What's the aesthetic of pendulism?
The aesthetic? What do you mean? Like, what do you wear? What do you wear to a pendulum show?
Like, what are the kind of imagery and stuff do they like project? Like, I always think of Carpenter Brute. But I don't know why this memory always sticks in my head when I saw them play and this girl walked out, because her boyfriend had brought her or whatever, and she was just talking about how weird it was, just that like all the imagery was all like just people getting murdered and like horror film stuff, because that's what was playing on the screens.
Right.
It just makes me conscious of like thinking like, oh, like what is someone's aesthetic? Like you can listen to the music, but then like if all the video screens are playing like people getting murdered, then it sort of sets a strange mood.
Well, that's not what Pendulum projects.
Are they like goth? Like what's their deal?
So right now their Spotify artist profile is just apocalypse soundtracks.
Okay.
There you go.
So like fire and stuff?
I don't know. Like everything. Well, no, so like they come from like the EDM world because they were originally...
They come from the land down under.
They do. They were originally a drum and bass act, and then they were like, hey, let's add metal guitars. And now they just kind of do whatever the fuck they want, which is kind of great. So I don't know. They span multiple genres.
Cool.
But it was really funny because I'm like, what do I wear to the show? And I was like, okay, I'll wear like I mean, I always wear all black, but I was like, I'll wear all black and I'll wear like a mesh top and whatever, and I'll wear a leather jacket. And I went to the bathroom at some point during the show, and I was in line with all these girls who also had mesh tops on and also all had leather jackets. I'm like, how did I know?
Did you take a picture?
How did I know? No, I wish I should have. I fucking should have. But it would have been creepy because like taking a picture in a bathroom.
Oh, that's creepy? Shit.
Yeah, I think that is kind of creepy.
I gotta change my ways. That's the only place I take pictures. Well, we can get AI to generate one for the Instagram.
Great.
We'll say, this is what it would have looked like.
Yeah.
It was good though?
Yeah, no, it was fucking awesome. Happy I went.
Sweet.
Did your mom enjoy the orchestra?
She did. She did enjoy the orchestra. Oh yeah, and then in between that, we did some touristy stuff. We went to Brighton for a day, which was cool. I also hung out with our mutual friends, Sunglasses Kid and Ollie Ride.
Yes, he mentioned that to me.
So that was cool to see those guys.
Nice.
Ed took us to some secret spots in Soho, which was cool.
Well, that's fun. He likes to drink, I think.
Yeah, he does. We did. We did some drinking. So yeah, it was a fun time.
Well, listen, I'm glad you had a good time, and I'm glad your discus is back to burger mode.
Burger mode.
The burger in your spine has been reassembled.
Yes, it has.
I'm glad it looks like the one on the menu when you walk in there and not like the one that you get.
Yeah. Well, actually, technically speaking, if the one you get is pretty compact because it's like there's a whole lot less stuff in it than what's shown in the photo.
Maybe.
That's true.
So there's a lot less stuff to actually fall out the side, depending on where you go.
My surgeon gave me a picture of what he took out of my spine. He airdropped it to me.
Oh, Jesus.
You should frame it.
Okay.
I'm getting the impression that you guys think my ideas are stupid.
I'll do that, Andy.
You're a little out there, Andy, that's for sure.
Andy, how about I frame it and I'll send it to you for your birthday?
Oh, I don't want to see it. That sounds horrible. I just like saying ideas for other people, but I would be probably horrified and grossed out. But I'll tell you what makes me happy is music. So I've got a track to play, and then we'll keep chatting. I got one from Baldocaster. I think I already played another track from his album Fragment, but it's good stuff, and this one is also good stuff. So this is Dancing Rocks by Baldocaster. that was Baldocaster with the track Dancing Rocks. And I'm here right now. This is a Beyond Synth round table. Although it's more like a Beyond Synth triangle table today because I'm just here with Florence and Marko.
That's correct.
I love it. Like, where is Michael?
Fuck knows. That's weird. He just disappeared.
He's totally MIA.
He was literally right in the chat just before we started recording. I don't understand. We never seem to be able to get the shit together, do we, really? It's always something, eh?
We were so close.
Yeah, we were close.
That's why we sort of do these so rarely. It's the scheduling is hard. I think I'm going to have to I am doing some retooling right now because I'm offering more Patreon stuff. You know, I've been doing this thing now where I'll record with Mike and then we do Radio Fiasco and then we'll just record a phone call afterwards. And I'm also I'm recording a thing right now with Color Theory where we're going through Depeche Mode because we're both big Depeche Mode fans. So we're just going album by album.
Oh, I saw Depeche Mode.
When?
In December.
What?
Did you?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because we haven't talked since
You
then.
forgot to mention that? It's been that long, I guess.
Well, yeah, that was forever ago.
Where'd you see him?
Yeah.
At Crypto Arena in Los Angeles.
Crypto
Arena.
So,
it used to be called the Staples Center for those who
Crypto.
know
Oh,
Crypto.
yeah.
Crypto.com Arena.
Fuck's sakes.
Staples Center. Isn't that where the Lakers played or somebody played, right?
The Lakers.
They still play there? But anyway, they changed the name,
Some
right?
other sports team plays there. I don't know. But yeah, they do concerts there.
Okay.
And I saw Depeche Mode there.
It's annoying. They do that shit in Australia. We used to have all these stadiums and they have the name, it'd be Subiaco Oval and all this, and then they just changed them to Optus and all these, they just sold the rights to the name, so they're all got fucking, it's really bad. I hate that shit.
I hate when it's it's called something just generic. We have in LA, we also have the Forum. I think the Lakers used to play there, I want to say, and then they moved to Staples Center. But now, Kia bought it, so now it's the Kia Forum. And I'm not gonna call it the fucking Kia Forum.
Well, same thing over here because the big where the CN Tower is in Toronto, and then there's what used to be the Sky Dome, and that's where the baseball was played. And I think people still call it the Sky Dome, but I think it's now called the Rogers Center or whatever because the phone company owns it. I wonder if even they changed it. I think we have a Staples Center too, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Which is so weird.
How does Staples exist anymore?
I know. That's the thing. It's of all the companies, just you mean that weird office supply store that nobody shops at somehow has enough money to be fucking buying stadiums? Everything you can get there, you can get on Amazon cheaper and not have to go to Staples?
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Staples Center was the Staples Center for so long, honestly.
It's weird. When did that I feel like it started not long ago, in the 2000s when companies would just buy up stadiums and change the names. But maybe it happened throughout history and I wasn't paying attention because I don't really go to stadiums.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, how was Depeche Mode?
They were really good. I enjoyed them a lot.
So this would be for the new album though, right?
I mean, they played some new songs, but they also played some old songs too.
A fair few old ones?
Yeah. No, they had a good balance.
Did they play Enjoy the Silence?
Yes, they did. They have to play that one.
Oh, thank God. I'd be so disappointed if
they have to play that one. And they played Personal Jesus. They also played Just Can't Get Enough, which was cool.
No way.
Yeah.
That's fucking going back so far, that one.
That was
Jesus.
good.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know, they played, I could look up the set list. I know they played Stripped. They played It's No Good.
Those are all good songs. They're a good band.
Yeah, no, they played some really dope songs. The only song that they didn't play that I would have wanted to hear was Strange Love.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I don't know, I think they they checked all the other boxes for me. They obviously played some new songs, but I don't know. I don't remember those.
Yeah. The new album's weird. I really like the track Ghosts again, the one that they led with.
Yeah.
That was a good song. Mm-hmm. It's been fun going back through them. I haven't listened in so long because that was my favorite band growing up. So I listened to a lot of Depeche Mode and almost only Depeche Mode. So I'm recording this series now with Color Theory. And it's funny because he keeps on going if you like that, did you listen to this album by Yazoo or this album by so-and-so? And I'm no, I really just listened to Depeche Mode. Mm-hmm. That's why it's weird going back now and listening to some of that stuff that was on the side that I never paid attention to, it sort of reinforces why I like Depeche Mode so much, because a lot of other these synthwave or like synth pop bands at the time, it's like they do a thing that is cool, but I wouldn't like the singer, or like the songs are weird or whatever, and like it's interesting. But what I found surprising was, because like after the first Depeche Mode album, because it was pretty much made by Vince Clarke, and then he goes on and does like Yazoo or Yaz or whatever, and the first Yaz album sounds like exactly like the first Depeche Mode album, like it's like the same style. He went away and just brought his style with him, and then Depeche Mode had to like morph because he wasn't there anymore. And it's interesting because I never really listened to that shit. Like I just was listening to it for the first time. Like, I mean, I know a bunch of the Yaz songs, but I've never actually just listened to the album. And it was like surprising because I'm like, this sounds fucking exactly like the Depeche Mode album. Like it's like the same instruments, and like there's a lot of stuff going on that's like pretty similar.
Andy, it's Yazoo, not Yaz. You're thinking of somebody else.
No, it's both.
It's both.
You know what? Let's fucking solve this right now, because it's
no, Yaz is somebody else. Yaz is another artist.
Because if you go and like actually go to their site, they're often referred to as Yazoo/Yaz. So it might be one of those. There's another band called Yazoo in like fucking New Zealand, and so they have a different name there. Like you remember, there's a few bands that were like that. Who's the band that sings that fucking song, Glycerin or whatever? What was that band? Fuck me.
Oh, my friend used to love that song. He used to play it all the fucking time.
Okay.
It wasn't a bad song, but he just repeated it, and it's
Bush.
ingrained.
Bush, that's right.
Brain.
So Bush. And then Bush was also called Bush X.
Never heard of that. Where are you coming up with this stuff?
It's true.
What? Bush X?
Yeah, because I think in Canada there was another band called Bush, so you couldn't be called Bush here.
I never heard of Bush X, but
No, that's right,
I
because
believe
here we
you
try to
that.
blame it on you. He tried to blame it on Australia and New Zealand, but really it's
I believe
Canada.
you. I mean, it's funny because they do. It's like they do that with stores in like the US and the UK. Like when I was walking down the street in London, I'm like, what's a TK Maxx as opposed to TJ Maxx?
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's the same thing, but it's just different.
They do that with movie titles in Australia all the fucking time. It's annoying.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, I think it's called Airplane, the movie. It's called Flying High in Australia.
What?
Or like there's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Lionheart, and that's called Wrong Bet in Australia. I don't know why they do this. I really don't.
Okay, so the Bush and Bush X thing, I think, has to do with Canada.
I knew it was Canada, see?
Because there's a Canadian band called Bush, and they're earlier, like they were like from the 1970s. And so when the British band Bush started making music in like the 90s, they were called Bush X over here.
Is it X like the letter X or is it EX?
The letter X.
Oh.
Till the 90s,
cop
rock
out.
band known as Bush X, only in Canada because a 70s group called Bush already existed there. Okay, so now let's do the fucking Yaz Yazoo thing.
Also known as Yaz in
America.
Canada. See, it's fucking Canada again. I knew
No,
it.
it's fucking, look, at the age of blah, blah, blah. In the United States, the band operated
Known as
under
Yaz
the
in
name
North
Yaz
America.
due to trademark issues with the Yazoo Records record label operating in the region. So it's the States.
All right. Well, it's the States, not Canada. All right.
Oh, sorry.
So that's why, because
Yeah, sorry about that.
if you go on, because if you go on like their YouTube channel, the songs I think are often listed as Yazoo/Yaz, like it's both.
I honestly had no idea. I never heard of it. I didn't know. Because there was a group called Yaz in the 80s. Around the same time, a little bit later, they had a lot of songs in the charts, and they were called Yaz, which I didn't mind, actually. But anyway, whatever.
Well, how about this? Speaking of music, why don't you play me a track from a track
From what?
from the Twisted Mind of Marko Merrick?
All right, I got a twisted one for sure. There's actually an old group, this is kind of a little out there, an old group from Australia, from Brisbane, Queensland actually, called Regurgitator, who had some success in the 90s. They kind of did a bit of alternative pop, kind of mishmash of music, a bit of electronic in there, and they had a little bit of popularities, but they disappeared. I really liked them. I had one of their albums, Unit, I think it was called. But anyway, they disappeared. I don't know what the hell they've been doing, but they just brought out a new album, and one of my friends brought it up to my attention that they're doing some synthwave stuff. So I am going to play one of the songs from their new album, which should be out by the time this podcast airs. The album is called Invader, and the song is Cocaine Runaway, and it's from Regurgitator.
All right, and that was Regurgitator with the track Cocaine Runaway. And I'm fucking losing my voice again. God damn it.
Jesus, Andy.
It starts crackling, and I'm like, oh, shit. Anyway, that was a cool song.
It's because Michael isn't here and all the extra talking you have to do now.
Yeah, I guess so. Often, I mean, honestly, to be fair, if he even joins us for the last 20 minutes, I feel like half the time when we talk to Michael, he forgets what we talked about last time. There's a lot of like...
He just repeats himself.
He'll say like if you guys seen this show and like, yeah, we talked about this like twice, didn't we? Like just... Anyway, it's all good. So look, we're here. I'm here with Marko. I'm here with Florence. So that's cool. So Florence is going to see shows. She's feeling good. Her back is good. Marko.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Marko no longer works at the chocolate factory, I've been told.
No, I changed I didn't change professions, but I changed job location and which company I'm working for. So hopefully it works out. It's kind of weird because I'm usually work nights and I will be going back to working afternoon/night shift. But at the moment, I have to be up at 5 a.m, which I hate mornings. It hasn't been too bad. It's kind of nice because I finish early, but it's definitely taken a bit of getting used to. But I tell you what I'm excited about, Andy, honestly, is that they are re-releasing Alien in the cinema. Limited release, the original Alien movie. It's the 45-year anniversary. I was going to say 35, but I think it's actually 45-year anniversary. And they're playing it in some of the major cinemas. So we're going to go to that. And again, this will already have happened by the time this airs, but I think they're playing it for a week or two. So it's across the United States, I believe. So it's pretty cool, man.
Well, that's
Finally
cool.
Get to see it on the big screen. Yeah, it's one of my favorite horror movies.
Because I know they did a re-release of Aliens. I think there's now like a 4K Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was watching a video. There's all this stuff I never thought about when I was young, but now you just see like the nerdy, where people talk about the color grading. Because like with every release, but they do this with lots of movies where they'll change the color grade a bit. So like you'll be thinking in your head like, when I used to watch this movie on like VHS and stuff, wasn't it kind of green tinted a bit? And then when it comes out on Blu-ray, then it's like blue tinted, and then it comes out again on or the DVD, and then the Blu-ray they change it again. And they did that with Star Wars as well. I think like when Star Wars came out on Blu-ray, they changed the color grade so the skin hues of the people was like kind of a lot more pink, and like the laser beams that they shot were more pink than the kind of orangey red they were in the original thing.
Yeah, I feel weird how they do that all the time.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I understand the cleanup process.
Yeah.
You know, like when they'll do like a remaster and they'll try and, but then you have new tools that they'll use, and then sometimes those tools end up fucking things up. Like I know like for a lot of Blu-ray releases, they started doing a lot of like noise removal, and so they're getting rid of a lot of the grain, which sometimes makes things look really fake and weird. Like you kind of need that film grain in there. Like I know a lot of people complained about like, I think the Terminator 2 release and Predator, because like with all the grain gone, it just makes everybody look really like smooth and strange.
Smooth and strange.
They do this shit all the time. All the time.
Yeah, so I just didn't know if maybe Alien, like the one they're going to show in the theater, is like based on a new remaster, or if it's just not.
Could possibly be. I got to look into it a little more, but one scene that they are editing it's kind of funny, the shit out of everything. This is the shit they're talking about. So that Sigourney Weaver towards the end, I don't know if you know, I mean, I'm sure you do, but if you've seen it recently, but she's kind of in those little scanty underwear that keep falling down, and she's kind of got a little bit of bush hanging out, but they kind of edited out a lot of that back in 1979 because Ridley Scott said it was kind of a little bit too much, and there's a whole thing about it. It's kind of funny if you haven't read it, but so apparently he's going to add the bush back in now for this re-release because the audiences are ready for it now. So that's the shit that they're editing.
Don't you mean Bush X?
Yeah. No, only when they aired it here. When they play Alien in Canada, then it's Bush X. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. They did that for Terminator as well. Like, they did some things in T2 for the most recent release that made sense. Like, I think they sort of CGI'd on a better Arnold head onto...
Yeah, off the bike, right? When he rides off the...
But I think they also CGI'd out fucking Robert Patrick's bag, because you kind of saw his bag.
His bag?
Yeah, like his scrotum. Like, when he was...
Oh, that bag. I don't remember seeing his bag. What?
Well, yeah, when he does the thing when he kills the cop, and then he's sort of crouching and he cocks the gun. I think in the original cut, you could sort of see a bit of his ween like hanging down.
So that's bad?
To be honest with you, I actually never noticed that. It was only later people say, oh, they CGI'd out his dick. And it's like, what? Like, I never saw his dink. Like, I actually didn't. The dink I saw was Arnold's in the first one when he's walking in the shadows, like naked towards the fucking gang. And, you know, you can see his dink like swaying back and forth like as he walks, but he's meant to be in shadow, but it's...
Nice night for a walk.
Yeah, that's the scene. And that's the only time I saw a dink.
That's the only time you saw a dink
ever.
I'm pretty sure you just used 5 different words for a penis.
Yeah, but that's the one I won't use.
In the course of 30 seconds.
Well, you know, it's, listen, we like to have fun, right?
Yep.
Well, anyway, that sounds good, man. That's, it's a good film, Alien.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So,
are you going to go see episode 1 in theaters too, Marco?
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. I went and saw 1 and 2. I saw both of them in the cinema, I think, back in the day. I was so excited about episode 1, but...
Well, you can get excited again because they're putting it back in the cinema for May 4th.
I know there's this weird thing where people being disappointed with modern Star Wars or like reassessing the prequels, but I can't. I've tried.
I've always liked the prequels because I was a child when they came out and I didn't know any better, and they're nostalgic for me and I like them. I understand that they're kind of terrible movies, but I can quote them.
There is some movies from my past that I have reassessed that I do actually like more than I did. Like, I feel that way a lot about when I watch like 90s action movies and stuff, because I remember in the 90s going like, oh, these aren't as good as like the older ones and they're kind of corny and stuff, but then like when I watch them now, they feel like, I mean, these are just as good as some, you know, like even some like the straight to video ones, is because they're shot on film and the stunts are real and the explosions are real and stuff. Like, it just feels more visceral even if they're not like great movies. But because even as a kid, I didn't love like Predator 2 and stuff like that. And like when I love Predator 2 now. I mean, like, I liked Predator 2. For me, it was always like, I liked the last half an hour and I always thought like the first part like wasn't as good. But in hindsight now, when I go back and watch Predator 2, I'm like, this movie's fucking amazing. Like, it is an awesome film.
Yeah,
I think, I know I've probably said this a billion times, but the same with Die Hard. Like, when I was young, I used to think Die Hard 2 wasn't good. It was just like, oh, like the first one and the third one, they're the good ones, and the second one is no good. But now I love Die Hard 2. Like, I think that it's just a solid action movie, and it was just at the time, we were just spoiled by these classic action movies, and so when one was like a sequel that wasn't quite as good, it was like, well, that's the bad sequel. And, you know, compared to Die Hard 5, 6, and 7, or however many there are, like, those are junk. And
that last one they did was horrible. Oh my god, that was bad.
Was that the Yippee-Ki-Yay Mother Russia one?
Oh god, ew.
Yes, it was so bad.
That one sucked.
It was horrible. It got panned by the critics too.
Well, it was shit.
It's so bad.
I don't even think I saw the whole thing. I just saw the scene where like he's just in Russia and then just decides he gets into a car because he has to like find his son or something, and then just starts like this crazy car action scene in the middle of traffic that just made no sense. And it was like, what? Like, so he's just like a crazy Terminator, invincible like murderer now who can just like drive in a city he's never been to in his life, but somehow do all these like cool maneuvers and stunts and stuff like in a car. Like, you've never even been here. Like, how do you even know what's around the corner?
It's
like,
ridiculous.
So anyway, we can keep talking about Die Hard, but I want to listen to another song.
Yeah, listen to the song first. Yep.
Let's see. I got what else do I got here? Ooh, here's a cool one from Garth Knight. I always dig Garth Knight. He makes cool tunes, and he's released a cool one here. It's called Deadly Dusk by Garth Knight. that was Garth Knight with the track Deadly Dusk. And it is cool, and Garth Knight is cool. And Garth Knight is also the voice of Trevor the Turtle in Andy's Spaceship, a series which I will probably never return to.
Aww.
You know, I want to. I had some cool ideas, because I mean, I had an idea for Marko as well, but it's just,
Yeah, you did. That's right.
I really enjoyed Andy's Spaceship.
The thing is, with some of the AI tools, I could do some cool things. Like, I had some ideas where I'm like, oh, like I can use it for like set extensions and stuff. And I did some, I've wasted so much time on projects that no one will ever see, because I literally filmed a scene with the spaceship set and I used like generative AI to like fill it out as like a matte painting. So it was like a bigger interior and stuff.
Oh.
And I did these tests. I'm like, this is cool. And I've literally written what is the follow-up like episodes. There's a whole, and I've even filmed things that we haven't seen. So there's a thing I filmed where literally the ship gets fucking blown up.
Spoiler alert.
And it's filmed, like the scene is filmed and even edited mostly. And it's just sitting there. And I just feel weird because now if I go back to it, it's just like, fuck, we filmed that like 2 years ago. And so there's going to be a scene where like the ship crashes and then I get out of the ship and like my fucking hair is a different color and like my fucking hairline is like, you know, an inch higher or whatever, and just like, man, that was some crash.
You've acquired 2 cats.
Yeah. There's like, but no, but I bought puppets that we haven't even seen, characters that haven't been introduced. Like they're just sitting in a fucking bin.
Aww.
So I'm waiting. Like, I mean, because they have characters. Like I already know, like, okay, I know the voice of who's playing that character and I know what the character's name is and stuff, and then we just haven't fucking done it. So anyway, too many things to do.
Yep. Too little time.
Marko.
Yes, man.
I guess this is sort of a continuation of a conversation we were having on the Power Hour, but you have done a special thing.
Yes, I have.
You've gone into your past and you've completed something that you've been meaning to do for many years. You want to tell us all about it?
Yes. Well, see, Andy helped us a lot. He's a good fella, you know, and he helped us get a decent emulator that runs GoldenEye 64 really good. And I've always had issues with that with the controls. I know we've talked about this, so I'm just quickly brushing up on it. So that's always been my issue. It's been glitchy or whatever, you know. But Andy found us a really good one, and, you know, I adjusted the buttons and got it perfect to how I want it. And I ended up, I tried so many times when I was younger to finish the game on 00 Agent, which is the hard mode, and it's really difficult. And I finally did it. It took me like about 3 weeks, you know, not playing all the time, but when I have time, and I've done it. I finished all the levels. Some of them had me ripping my bloody hair out, I tell ya, but I got it. Yeah, so I'm pretty chuffed about that. It was a really good trip down memory lane too. It's such a good game still. It's amazing. Like, it really is. Especially, like, you know, just the set design, the level design and everything. The way some of the levels are set up is really good. It's really well done. So,
well, I'm proud of you. You know, I went back and was playing on Xbox, and you made it further than even I did, because I think my game, I'm stuck on the train. Because that's another thing too. I know on the last Power Hour, I had my crazy revelation to the audience that I in fact sold GoldenEye like a few months after I bought it.
It's horrible.
But I did do everything. Like, I completed the game 00. I got the cheat codes for all the levels, because you have to, you know, do different levels at different times and speed run and stuff. But then I have never really, in 25 years or whatever, tried to do what you just did, like the replay on 00. So I was sort of doing that over the past few weeks, but I still did a playthrough on easy mode. I'm just stuck right now on the stupid train. I remember there was a trick to it, because at the start of the level, you're behind a bunch of crates, but if you move a little bit too far, the bad guys will like shoot you through the crates and the crates explode.
Yeah.
And I always remembered there was like a particular way you could stand where you could shoot the first few guys without them shooting you.
There is. You can also duck too, Andy, don't forget. I know it's a little bit weird with the controls, but you can duck behind... No, I know, but behind the metal crates, because some of them, they have metal crates underneath and the wooden ones up top or whatever. There's different, yeah. But for me, the hard part was there's certain objectives you have to get done, which are ridiculous. Like, you have to meet this character and you need to have a gun. Like, you can't be empty-handed and you can't shoot him, and you have to wait, because I get eager and I start shooting and then it fucks everything up, you know, stuff like that. So Now with modern technology, what really helped me was that I could look through walkthroughs or playthroughs to see how to do it. I didn't use any save states whatsoever. I actually did try to use it on that one fucking level. Which one was it?
Well, I don't even think does that. I don't even think that emulator allows for save states. I don't think.
No, it does. There's a save state and a load state, but it don't work.
Okay.
So I did try, but I literally couldn't use it. So like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. So I kind of feel I'm happy I didn't have to use a save state because that really is kind of cheating, you know.
I love save states for like old games.
Yeah, certain games.
I do have like a little Game Boy that I'll just sort of mess around on. I've been playing all the Bomberman games. I started with the TurboGrafx ones and I'm working my way through the Super Nintendo Bomberman games. And I just get bored of the tedium. And so I use save states all the time. Like every time I start a new map, save state. You know, if I play a map and like I die, you know, like more than like 3 times, then I just start like save stating halfway through the map or whatever, just because I just want to get through the game. But it definitely takes all the challenge out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
With Goldeneye, you know, and the same with Perfect Dark as well, there's just some objectives that are so unclear that I don't even know how I did them when I was young. Because sometimes even you go to your watch and it's like, doesn't really help you either. It'll just be like, plant the listening device on the fucking computer. And you're like, what's the listening device? What's the computer? How do I plant the device? And like, there's no
which
real
computer. I've seen so many computers, and which one is it? Like, is that too? And I know. Or you plant it on the wrong thing, and then it ruins the whole fucking mission because it's right at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck.
And then there's those ones that are just sort of confusing where it's always just like, meet Valentine, and then you find him, and then you just have to kind of stand in front of him.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't leave or else he stops talking. So you just have to stand there and just read stupid text at the bottom of the screen, and like no one's mouths are moving or anything. And then you're just like, okay, like, did I do it? And then you're just waiting. And because there's one level where you have to speed run the tank level to get the cheat code.
Yeah, that's the one.
There's like a 40-second chunk of your time that's just standing in front of Valentine, like
waiting for him to finish talking.
Every time you're trying to find tricks, like, what if I stand right at the doorway so I'm kind of near him, but then I can also kind of shoot guys while he's talking to me? And like, you're trying to find all these like weird tricks to like speed it up.
Well, that control level can go fuck itself. Seriously, I must have done that like 200 times, and then fucking the annoying part is you got to protect Natalia while she's hacking the computer, and there's fucking enemies coming from everywhere, and then she has the nerve to tell you can you keep it down? I'm trying to concentrate. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm fucking just saving your ass right here, and you're fucking bitching about the noise.
Well, I don't even... Dude, I had a hard time replaying that level on easy.
Yeah, it's a tough level.
I'm not even there yet on 00. Like on easy mode as well, it's like you still have to memorize the way that the bad guys start attacking, because the ones that always kill Natalia are the ones behind the stupid glass, where you think you got
they're annoying.
You got the stairs covered, everything's good, then all of a sudden the fucking glass breaks, and if you don't kill those fucking guys right away, they kill her instantly, and it's so fucking frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. It's I've done that level so many times. I will not be doing it again.
No, that is notoriously, like, whenever you see lists of people looking back at video games and going like, those fucking levels where you have to protect somebody like are so annoying, and like the Natalia one is always on that list of like the most frustrating. There's a word for those kind of levels, like the babysitting levels that are just the worst.
I did the facility level, the second level. Well, that's probably my favorite level in the game. Absolutely fucking love that level.
Yes.
It's really good. I love it. Anyway, I played it again, and it's been like almost 30 years since I played it. It's been a long time. So I kept killing Trelevan at the end. You're supposed to meet him. I didn't realize that was him. As soon as I opened the door, I just kept shooting him. I was like, what's going on? And then I did it like 3 or 4 times, and then I actually had to look it up. And I was like, oh my God, why am I just so prone to shooting everything immediately, you know?
It always bugs me when games have objectives like that. It's like, don't kill him. You have to wait until the other guy kills him. So why should this fail the mission? I mean, I know story-wise he's not actually dead because it's a fake out, but like, it's still weird to give you a mission that tells you like, don't kill somebody, but then when you play the whole level, the end cutscene is that person dying. And it's like, well, if the person was going to die anyways, like, why is it a failure if this person dies partway through the map? Like, who cares?
Right.
Anyway, listen, play me a song.
Well, I think they're called TWRP. TWRP has a new album out. He always produces some really cool stuff, some different kind of sounding stuff. His new album is called Digital Nightmare. It always features really cool cover art. Really like his style. I had trouble picking just one off the album, but the one I have gone for is Online, featuring Tom Cardy and Montaigne.
know what you like, so farewell and goodbye. You can catch me later, baby. You can catch me online.
I'll see you online. You can catch me in cyberspace. I'll see you online.
It's more than fantasy when it's you and me. Alright, alright, the information superhighway. Let's cruise with the top down. We can spend all night in my private chat room. Here's the password. You better write this down.
I think I love you. I can't believe I feel this way. Did not know I could afford a love electric as the boy plugged into my motherboard.
I think I know what you like, so farewell and goodbye. You can catch me later, baby. I'll see you online.
You can catch me in cyberspace. See me at my virtual brain.
I'll see you online.
It's more than ecstasy when it's you and me online.
Baby, drive me crazy. Chat with you daily. Could you blame me? Baby, drive me crazy. Loving you all day on my display. Oh, baby, when I pass you by, I'm just another guy asking myself, why do I try?
Boy, why are we so coy out here in reality when we both done virtually? I start feeling myself, you make me feel 20 feet tall here in our world. Never knew that I could feel this way. Never knew that you would feel the same. And the feeling's here to stay from now until I decay.
And even then, you know I'll wait. You know I'll wait. I'll see you online.
You can catch me in cyberspace.
Girl, I miss your interface. I'll see you online. It's like there's nobody but you and me online. I'll see you online.
You can catch me in cyberspace.
I'll see you online.
Young and we're free, just you and me online.
All right, and that was TWRP with Online, featuring Tom Cardy and Montaigne. That was a cool song, and I'm here right now with the Beyond Synth Triangle table with Florence and Marko. We just talked about Goldeneye for a long time, and Florence waited patiently.
Sorry, Florence.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had time to do a crossword puzzle. It was cool. Thanks, guys. I really like Tom Cardy. He's fucking great.
Yeah.
That guy's hilarious.
Well, look, the bottom line is this, okay? I'm proud of all of you.
Thanks, Andy.
I'm happy your spine feels better. Marko played Goldeneye. And see, this is the thing, I know I talk about it a lot, but that's because it's really good. So that's why.
Yeah. No, it is.
That's why I talk about it all the time.
It's been a revelation to me because I played it again and it's really fucking good. Like, I enjoyed it. I would come home and I'd be like, I really want to play this. And it wasn't like, some games, like, I'll be honest with you, I started playing Star Fox again, and it hasn't aged very good. Like, I'm playing it going, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm going to play it, but it's not doing the same thing Goldeneye did for me now, Like, it's aged well, I think. Whereas a lot of the other games, they're not very good. So I see what you talk about all the time. It's a fucking really good game.
I just want a new game that is like that. You know the joke? Remember we did a show a few months ago and I was bitching about all the new shooting games and how they all have to have these stupid quirks and stuff?
Yes.
So I saw this one video, and this is like the biggest joke. There was one upcoming FPS game that actually looked like, wait a second, this actually looks fucking cool. I think it kind of took place in World War times, but it was a mix of like espionage and action, and like it showed a guy like sneaking around like a military base with like a fucking silenced handgun, like taking out fucking soldiers and stuff.
Yep.
And it looked really good. And I was like, of all the fucking things that I saw, it was like, well, this game actually looks right up my alley. I look forward to this. Anyway, so that studio shut down and the game got canceled. And that was like the one game in that whole list of like, that's the one I want to play. But actually what I'm doing now, because I've been watching the Fallout TV show, I think I'm just like a chump like everybody else, but watching the show has made me want to go back and play the game. So I bought Fallout 4 because I never actually played Fallout 4. I think I only played it for like an hour 10 years ago or whatever, and it was like on sale for $6. And by the time this episode airs, they're putting out like a new patch for the game to run smoother, like on the next gen consoles with like smoother frame rates and better graphics and stuff. So I said, well, then I'll go buy it and play it because the show is really good, and it like really reminded me like, oh, like I should go back and play Fall. Like I think it's like one of the best game adaptations of a thing I've ever seen.
Big surprise. I've never played the game.
Me either. Honestly, me either.
But I enjoyed the show.
Well, I think this is like the first time in video game adaptations that there's ever been like a show or a movie that takes place in the canon of the actual game. So like it's not like an adaptation, like they're taking characters from the game and they're being played by different actors like in the TV show. Like this could be the story of Fallout 5. It's kind of like what this show is, because every Fallout game sort of takes place like a few years after the previous one. It'll be like the first game was like, this one takes place in 2080 and you're in a different part of the States. Like they always take place in America, but like in different places. And so then every game is like that. Like this one takes place 30 years after Fallout 3 and it takes place in California, and this one's in fucking Las Vegas or whatever. So that's the way the show works. It just takes place in another location. But what I'm impressed by is they're just using the video game as the template for all the costumes and like the way the locations look and everything. Like there's the power armor, like that's right out of the game. Like they haven't really done any weird like, you know, like when movies adapt things and they, you know, or like they do comic books and they sort of change shit.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of get the vibe when they do the superhero costumes, but they make a lot of amendments. Whereas the costumes in the show are pretty much exactly like the things from the game. It's like they just used that and just said, just make that, but just put it in TV show form. And like, I still have to watch the season finale, but I just watched the one where they were in front of a red rocket place, and then like the ghoul goes and finds the dog. Like the guy put the dog in the fucking freezer or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just booted up Fallout 4 yesterday, started playing, and literally came to that exact scenario where like I walk up to this red rocket, looks exactly like the scene from the show, and a fucking dog comes up to you, like in that moment. It's cool because the show, like if you're a fan of the games, you know some of the twists. So like the show doesn't necessarily do anything too crazy in terms of like introducing new twists to the lore. So in some ways it might have been more interesting for you just because there's some things about the vaults that they sort of, you know, it's like a twist or a surprise in the show. But if you played the games, you know that's kind of what the deal is.
Sure.
So they can sort of present it as like a plot twist or whatever, but it's really accurate to the fucking thing. So it this goes to show why it's important to make good things.
Yeah.
Because it can keep your franchise running. Whereas like in the case of Star Wars, it's like people are so disappointed by the shows and stuff that they're like looking forward to playing the old Battlefield games just because it's like that's when things were good and it brings back like nice memories and stuff. But in the case of Fallout, it's like you have a really great show and then it just makes people want to go back to the games to like, you know, there could be this synergy with Star Wars as well if they were making better stuff.
Yeah.
Where it'd just be like, oh, like you just watched an awesome Star Wars show and then you just have to hop into the game because you're so excited by what you just watched or whatever. But instead, if you don't love the thing, like they made a Halo TV show that people don't like very much, and so it doesn't make people want to play the game. It just sort of makes people mad.
Yep. That's what happens. I was really happy that the dog doesn't die. Super, super stoked on that. I guess maybe that's a spoiler, but I always want to know if a dog dies, because then I will stop watching.
You know what? Me and Jazzy are exactly the same. We'll watch a movie. It's like, oh, the dog better not die, or a cat, or whatever. That's like the important thing. Oh, the human, I don't give a fuck if that guy dies.
Yeah, fuck
the cat's
those
owner,
guys.
but the cat, I don't want the cat to die, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of the old movies they do, unfortunately, they just don't really care, so it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But, because that's what I care about too, Florence.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing.
The Fallout world is a pretty brutal one. So it is sort of like a funny show in that I do like that they cast Matt Berry as the fucking robot voice. That made me happy. So I guess that's one example, because those Codsworth robots are in the game, played by like a different British voice or whatever, but like that's not a big deal. Like that's fine that he was in there. So, but no, it's good. And like I'm just really impressed at the way they've adapted it, because if you play the games, like there's all the elements that are in that show that they're sort of borrowing from different games and different sort of storylines and stuff. So that's why it just feels new and fresh, but at the same time it feels like, because that's the same thing with the dog, is that in the Fallout games you get like a German Shepherd dog partner, and so that's why that sort of dog is, and he keeps on like kind of changing owners and stuff like in the show, but like that's how they sort of bring that element to the thing. Like we're really enjoying it, so hopefully the season finale delivers, because I haven't watched it yet.
I think you'll like it.
Have you been watching Shogun?
Oh no, that's next on my list.
Yeah, I'm waiting until all the episodes are out, because I don't like waiting, and then I can watch the whole season. Because fuck that, I'm not waiting anyway. So yeah, everybody reckons that's really good.
If I have to wait a week between stuff, I just forget about it.
I know.
And I forget what happens. And then I'm like, wait, now I have to like go back.
You forget what happens sometimes.
But if you binge it, then you remember. I have the shortest memory when it comes to like watching
Me too.
visual media. I just watched Fallout. Like I finished it like 2 days ago. I couldn't tell you like half of what happened, but I enjoyed it. Yeah. I mean, next week I'll forget it completely. At least if I remember the dog.
Yeah, I do. No, I do actually want to talk about this, because it's an interesting thing, because this is an issue right now in streaming, is the weekly release versus the binge watch, like season all at one go thing. And there are different camps in this argument. And I don't know, like I'm torn on it a bit, but I want to listen to a song first.
Oh, it looks like Michael Oakley just said he put his tools away.
Oh my God.
I guess he decided to work on a project while we were recording. He says 2-6.
Oh.
So he is going to join us.
Oh my God.
All right, cool. So let's listen to a song, and then...
I just put my tools away. He was fixing the camera.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, look, so I'm going to play a song here, and then we'll regroup. So I got one here from Horizon's 1982. This is a cool song. It's featuring the voice of Trenton. This track is called Energy Fields. And that was Energy Fields by Horizons 1982 featuring Trenton. And I'm back here with the Beyond Synth Triangle table with Florence and Marko, and we are talking about streaming. We're just talking about the Fallout show and the weekly releases versus the watching them all at the same time.
Yep.
I think Mandalorian was the first one I was watching where they did it like the weekly release that I kind of liked it in a way because it was sort of felt like old school TV.
Yeah.
Because you can talk to friends about the specific episodes. That's what made certain shows so cool. You know what I mean? Like Lost and stuff, because like you would discuss them with friends every week, and it makes it feel like it lasts more in your head, right? Because sometimes when you binge a whole season, it's just done. You know, and then you forget everything.
Yeah, and especially with Mandalorian. But I mean, I think like we were all really excited for Mandalorian, and it was just surprisingly really good.
Yes.
Too. So just all of that together made the hype last. But I feel like with a lot of shows, if it comes out weekly, like the hype just dies for me.
Yeah, no, I get it. Oh, look, Michael is going to join us. I think he's just, we got a message here. He's turning on his microphones. How about this? Before Michael joins us, I'll take this opportunity and do some Patreon shout outs. I know the schedule of Beyond Synth has been a little weird lately, so I feel like I haven't done shoutouts in a while, and we have some new patrons. So while Michael turns his mic on, I would like to welcome to the Beyond Synth supporters family. Well, we say hi to Cenotaph again in the Johnny 5 Club. And we got some new members to the Is This Synth-wave tier. That is our new sort of cheaper tier, so if you join there just to support the show and you get access to some of the bonus content, like deleted stuff from interviews and Mike and Andy talk on phones. And so who do we got here? So I would like to say thank you to Eno Lambs. Is that how I say that? ENOLAMNS. Eno Lambs. Lambs. Eno Lambs. Anyway, thank you for supporting the show. Another member in Is This Synthwave, Mr. Keith Atherton. Thank you, Keith Atherton, for being a cool guy and supporting Beyond Synth. And hello to Michael Rezel, who, hey, wait a second, Michael Rezel? That's Mike Rezel, my web guy. I like calling him my web guy, even though we don't really do too much on the website anymore. And by we, I mean him, because I did nothing. Mike's a cool guy. I like chatting to him. He's an interesting fellow who has a lot of cool creative projects on the go. And what else? We got Roman. Roman upgraded his support. That's right. Roman is now in the $10 club. Roman's a cool guy. And thank you for supporting Beyond Synth. And finally, we have a new patron in the Johnny 5 Club. I wish I was a trawler. I get it. I used to play this video game on these old shitty computers called Offshore Fishing. And before you would go offshore fishing, you'd have to pick whether you wanted a trawl net or not. And then I would always run it along the bottom of the seabed, and then it would break. So thank you. I wish I was a trawler. I wish I was a little bit taller. Rabbit in a hat, etc. Thank you all for supporting the show. And Michael, is Michael's microphone on?
Welcome, Michael.
Yeah, sorry, we were away just getting brunch, a late breakfast, and I completely forgot. And then I came back and I was like, oh shit, today's the 20th.
You know what? I love how you literally, right as we were about to, I sent you the link, you sent your fucking Marlon Brando doing impression of Trump, and you sent that literally the second before I sent the stupid link. And we're just like, where the hell is Michael? But anyway,
Oh my gosh.
it's all good.
I'd just like to apologize.
Well, you're here now.
Well, we're here now. We've got lots to discuss.
Well, I can catch you up real fast. Florence's back is feeling better.
Good.
The disc is good. She used a metaphor of a hamburger, and it feels better now. She went to London, watched some shows, and Marko beat Goldeneye all the way through on the hardest mode.
Oh, nice.
00 agent.
And we talked briefly about the Fallout TV show, that we both like that. And now we're talking about whether we like it better when a show streams all at once or when you can watch it once a week.
All at once. I just think you can't put that. You see, once you've experienced that, you can't put that cat back in the bag. I mean, it's like, because do you know what the funny thing is that we obviously we would watch things on Apple, on Netflix, and then occasionally, there would be some TV shows where we would start watching it, and I would have to wait till the following week to go on Pirate Bay and download the latest episode. And it was sort of annoying because you kind of feel like, I know, but I want to know now. I don't want to have this withheld from me. I'm a 42-year-old adult. I mean, like, I don't want this being withheld from me for another week. I'm not paying the network money.
Yeah, you could be dead the next day.
I could be dead, you know. It'll be me outside the Trump trial setting myself on fire.
Jesus Christ.
It reminded me of, remember a year ago, that actress woman Anne Hesh was like speeding in that car at like 120 kilometers an hour through residential streets, and she plowed into that person's house, and then the car caught on fire, and there was the famous video of the ambulance taking her away, and then she sort of wakes up and pulls the cover from over her, and you can see this like charcoal grilled person that's like underneath, and you're like, oh.
Well, see, I never watched things like this.
I don't remember that, and I'm happy I don't.
Which is why I have a bone to pick with you. The other day, you sent the GIF or fucking video of that gymnast lady who broke both her legs. Dude, that fucked up my whole night. I had a panic attack.
What?
I had a fucking, like, I started sweating. I can't handle videos like that. And so she jumps and then she literally breaks both her legs. It is the fucking most disturbing video. I had so much caffeine. I just went to Tim Hortons and got like a large fucking French vanilla, and I put an extra scoop of like powdered coffee into it because I was all ready to work all night because I had like all this editing to do.
Yeah.
And then you sent that stupid video, and then all of a sudden I just fucking had this panic. I started like,
I ruined your life.
I was like, oh man,
Fucking hell.
I think I gotta get out of this room. And like I had to fucking, like, I was like pacing around the house, and I'm doing research on that fucking gymnast. I'm like, is she okay?
She's okay. She's okay. She's all right. She's a real stand-up person.
Hey, Michael, listen, if Andy can't handle it, just send that shit to me, all right?
Yeah,
please.
I'll make sure that there's warning. I'm desensitized. You know, have you ever been on chaotic.com? That is...
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sites,
Hey,
yes.
what is that? Is that like rotten.com?
It's kind of, it's worse. It's worse.
Oh.
See if you go on chaotic.com, it's the new live leak.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a new live leak, yeah.
Am I going to this website right now?
It shut down for a few days.
Yeah.
Did you see? It was down for a few days. I thought it was going to be gone for good, but it came back.
The worst is the videos of like South American gangs catching another person who's a snitch and like seeing what they do. That's like, that's the kind of side of life that you never see, and you're kind of like, oh my god, it's not just in the movies, it's worse in real life.
Yeah, see, I can't do... Again, it's weird. I am desensitized to certain things, but I was sort of explaining this to Florence before we were recording. The reason why the gymnast one fucks me up so much, because like literally that dude setting himself on fire, it's like I just sort of watched it and was like, yeah, that's fucked up. But the gymnast one really fucked me up. And the reason why...
You weren't expecting it?
No, because you could tell, because when you see the still image before you press play, the still image is of that moment that her legs are bent the wrong way. But the thing is, I have a sort of dread that is always in the back of my head when you see people doing dangerous things, right? So it's like, if you see a gymnast, every time I see gymnasts do flips and land, in my head, I'm always thinking, fuck, she's gonna break her leg. Their leg's gonna fucking snap. Their leg's gonna bend or whatever, right? And it never happens. So it's always in my head like, oh, that's right. That's just me being weird. That's just me fucking with my weird paranoid fucking dread or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you actually see it happen, it fucks my whole world up, because it's like, oh fuck, it can happen. You can fucking do a flip and land and your fucking legs bend the wrong way. Like, that's not my imagination. And so that's why psychologically when I see those sorts of things, it's like, oh my God, it's like it's a realization of all your fears. It's almost like if you looked under your bed and there was a monster there.
If I could just add, if that's how you felt, how do you think she felt?
Oh, dude.
Andy, are you doing gymnastics in your spare time? See, like for me, like I see a video like that and you know, I cringe for like 2 seconds and I forget about it. But like, if it's a guy setting himself on fire, I just kind of watch it and I'm desensitized to it while I'm watching it. But then afterwards, like that's when the dread comes. And it's like this longer sense of like impending doom. And I'm like, cool. Well, that ruined my day.
It's wild. It is wild. I mean, the gymnast one is just one of those, because I'm a bit cruel. I sent it to a few friends and I said, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe this jump." and then they watch it and they're always like, "You bastard! Can't believe you sent that to me. I don't want to see that. I can't unsee that."
It's just, it's weird to think why certain things do and don't affect me, like, because I am sort of desensitized to some things and then some things I'm not, and so that's the reason why I'm articulating this, because I'm trying to figure it out for myself. Like, why is it that I can see someone who set themselves on fire? Why is that less like offensive to me than the leg breaking? Because she is alive, like, she's got married, she walked down the aisle, and I know all this because I fucking researched this person because I had to know.
Jesus, Andy.
So I'm on her, like, trying to find her social media and just like, oh, she got married. Oh, she's better. She was in a wheelchair, but she can sort of walk with a fucking cane, and she wanted to walk down the aisle and get married without having to use the walker or whatever, and she did. And so
there was a happy ending.
Yeah.
I think the fact that she broke both legs, both is brutal. I've seen one leg, but both was just like, oh my God.
They were like identical.
I know, right in the same spot.
Okay, let's.
I used to play soccer back home, and one time when we were playing in a game, I actually saw somebody get slide tackled, and the person broke their leg, and it was the noise that it made. Was horrible. But it was just everybody.
I think it's time to play a nice song.
Everybody knew as soon as it happened, because you could see their faces, and we all had to stop. The game didn't continue, and the ambulance came. But I think there's a component, like, do you ever notice that with certain horror movies, the worst is usually when they cut to black just before the actual act happens, because it's the psychological horror of you being left to your own mind of what your mind thinks is going to happen. It's why games like Resident Evil were so popular, because you are in that position sometimes of, I don't want to go down those stairs. I don't want to open that door. The music lets me know that something bad is about to happen, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, the psychological horror.
Hey, you know what's really cool?
What?
Baby cats.
Yeah. You got a song about that, Andy?
How are your cats, Andy?
Yes. Oh, look. How about we listen to a song, and then we'll fucking
let's talk about cats.
talk about less broken legs.
Fewer.
I got a cool one here from fellow CHIVE. This is a track called "With You." and that was With You by fellow Chive. And I'm here right now at the Beyond Synth round table. It's round again because Michael has joined us.
Finally.
Round it out.
He went for brunch, but he's back. And I'm here, of course, with Florence and Marko and Michael Oakley.
Can I just ask, was that person's called fellow chive, as in the plant that's the close relative of onions, garlic, shallows, and leeks?
That is correct.
Thank
you. Are you on the Chive Wikipedia?
I am, thank you. Just had to know. I just had to know. A fellow chive.
So what have you been up to, Michael Oakley?
What have I been up to? I've been working on new music, enjoying time with my cats. One of the cats actually just turned 1, so celebrating his first birthday.
Did he get
nice.
a birthday party?
Any catnip? Did he have some catnip?
He got a lot of kisses.
Oh, that's good enough, huh?
When we got him, obviously he was literally the size of my hand. Like, you could pick him up with the one hand, and he's grown now. He's obviously like quadrupled the size, but his nose has got really big. Like he has a big nose, and
A big honker.
and like I keep on like going over to him and go like, "Let me kiss your big schnoz."
Wait, which cat? Is that the one you adopted?
Yes.
Okay.
The orange baby cat.
Little orange baby. Yeah, little Wesley.
Not the
He's
nap
adorable.
cat.
No, that's Ruby. She's going to be 2. She's funny because I wake up and I go downstairs, I make the morning coffee, and then I feed the monsters. And if anybody doesn't eat their food, she's the one that basically goes round all the dishes and clears up. Honestly, like, she's ballooned in size because she's like eating everybody's food that's left over. When was the last time we had a call? Was it last year?
Last year.
It's been a while.
So I've played a lot of video games, and I've been watching a lot of TV shows.
So what's new on the game radar for you?
Well, I completed RoboCop. That was really good.
Cool. I want to play that.
Completed Cyberpunk and the expansion. That was
Nice.
I would put that in the top 5 greatest games I've ever played, actually. The story was amazing. It was one of the few games that I've had where when I stopped playing it, I was hesitant because I wanted to know what happened next, and then I was excited for when I was going to come back and play and pick up the controller and play again. And I actually, because of the new Fallout TV show, I actually got Fallout New Vegas, so I started playing that yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about it. It kind of feels a little bit, I mean, the graphics haven't quite aged well.
Yeah, that one's older because, like, before you joined the call, I was just telling them that I just bought Fallout 4 for the same reason, because I'm watching the show.
They're all on sale.
Yeah, it's $6. So, like, that's pretty good. And that's the thing, though. Fallout 4 is the one that's getting the next gen update.
Nice.
I keep forgetting, like, some of these games are a lot older than I thought, because, like, Fallout 4 is even almost, it's 2015.
Yeah.
So New Vegas is 2011.
2010, I think, yeah.
I tried to play New Vegas because I know a lot of people hold that one in pretty high regard, because Fallout 3 was Bethesda, and then Fallout New Vegas was made by Obsidian, and people liked that particular story better.
Yes.
But when I went to play it, I felt the same thing, where it just felt like, it does feel a little old. Like, Fallout 4 feels fine. The graphics aren't quite today's standards, but they're still pretty good.
Yeah.
So
It definitely, the graphics were very old generation, not just one generation, that felt like, like games that I used to play 20 years ago that you thought, oh, this is good, like, like N64 type graphics. But I'm still playing it, so I'll see. I might do the same as you and move to Fallout 4. But yeah, so I played that. What else did I play? Resident Evil 4. The remake, went through that.
Nice. What was that like, man? How's the remake?
Amazing.
Cool.
All of the brand new Resident Evil remakes are so good. It's like brand new games.
Oh, but
And
what
it's
are they?
just like-
What are they going to do for 5, man? I see the controversy, because when that game came out, everyone was just like, "This game's racist because all the zombies were black," and so now they're gonna they gotta.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's true, because that game takes place in Africa, right? And so that was the thing at the time where there's like, is this game racist? Because it takes place in Africa. And so now they have this dilemma of, because it's the next on the list, right? If they're going to remaster it, and sort of like, do you want to court that controversy in 2024 or 25 or whenever the fuck?
But 5 was also kind of the first where they ditched all of the survival horror stuff and it just became a straight up shoot 'em up, and I don't really remember 5 fondly.
No,
to be honest.
I tried it, and I remember, it was weird. It was like I was playing 2-player with a friend, and we're like driving in a Jeep or something, like shooting zombies at the back of the vehicle, and just felt like, this feels like a different kind of game. Like, what is this?
And also, I noticed as well, like, the way that they portrayed Chris Redfield in that game, he's like an all-American douchebag. Do you know, it's just that sort of
really racist. And,
Well, what made me laugh is just as those games go, like the Wesker character just gets more and more absurd.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because I think is it 5 or 6 where he's like, he turns into a full-on monster that you fight at the end, and he's got that stupid voice.
Number 5, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I love all the remakes. They are absolutely 100%. You should play them, especially 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are magnificent, absolutely magnificent games.
Well, also too, they probably benefit the most from being remade. Because like 4 was already a pretty solid game even when it came out, because that's when they finally changed the camera angles. And you could actually play it like a proper game, and not that stupid pushing up always moves you forward even if you're looking down or whatever, like, which is insane to try and play now.
That was the problem with it though, is like, what I found was you had to aim and shoot because of those controls. You can't walk while you're aiming or walk while you're shooting. It's really clumsy. As good as it was, that really did limit the game, I feel.
The remakes all have the exact same controls, and they're just very accessibly easy. And you can change them as well. You can go in the settings and you can change the buttons if you want. But yeah, the controls are far more responsive. I think the biggest one was having to use the D-pad on some of the older games meant that you felt like it was very tank kind of controls.
There's an argument to be made that would sort of enhance the horror aspect, because like in the older ones, it really was like when you had to take a shot, it was a big deal, because like even just like lining your guy up so he was aimed correctly, and then the fact that you had to stand still to shoot was like, it sort of added to the tension. But nowadays it's just impossible to play a game like that.
Yeah, it's hard to go back if you get the chance to. I think 2 and 3 are available on the pass, the monthly game pass. Tell you what's really good is they have incorporated online gaming, so if you haven't downloaded the game, you can just play it remotely. It just loads the game. It just uses your internet connection to stream the game. That's really good.
You do need good internet for that though.
You do.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work for me, Michael. Sorry. But...
Hey, Marko, you want to play me a song?
Sure. I got a track here from Gemini Drive. I've had to squeeze in a chill wave track in there somewhere. You know me. This one's really good too. I really like this one. It's called Remember.
right, and that was Remember by Gemini Drive. And that's a cool song. Marko likes to play the chill wave, and I like to chat with my cool pals at the Beyond Synth round table, like Florence and Marko and Michael.
That's me.
And we're just talking about video games, which gets Florence all excited. That's her favorite thing.
It's the best. So good at video games. I'm bad at video games. Like, I had a Game Boy growing up, but I never played video games after that, really. So I don't have the 2 joystick controls down. Like, if you ask me to play like where I play a game where I have to like control moving forwards and looking up and down, like I can't do it. It does not come naturally.
Jazzy's
to me.
the same.
Yeah.
She needs a mouse and a keyboard to be able to, otherwise she's just, it's not natural to her.
But doesn't she play she plays all the same games that you're playing?
Yeah, but we play it all on PC. So I will quite often use a controller. I'll plug it in and use a PS4 controller, and she will always use a keyboard and mouse. That's just her thing. So I've tried to show her, but like, because certain games, it kind of is better, I think. But it's just not natural to her. It doesn't really work. So
yeah, it's really frustrating to me, and it sucks because like there are a bunch of Star Wars games that I kind of want to play because it's like kind of canon to the story, but I'm like, I don't want to have to work for it. I just want it to happen.
You could play the upcoming Star Wars. What the fuck is it called? Outlaws? Yeah, Outlaws.
Yeah. Looks interesting.
Honestly, though, you could just watch the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Just like after the game comes out, just go on YouTube. Like, I know tons of people who do that.
Okay.
It's what I should have done instead of bought the new Mortal Kombat game, is just sit down and just, because there's nerds who, even like on day one the game comes out, and there'll be a nerd who just posts all the movie scenes from the game.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty much like, I get the story. I get it.
Yeah, I'm too lazy. I don't really care that much.
We should have all downloaded NBA 2015 and played it for that horrible dialogue.
Dude, that fucking video is so funny. Like,
I've watched it so many times. It is amazing.
Who thought that a young buck like you could do the right thing? Check it.
I love it. I love to, like, when the dialogue overlaps, where like one dude's doing a horrible read, then all of a sudden this other horrible read just overlaps on top of it. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
Who have thought
About what?
that a young buck like you could actually do the right thing and avoid getting his sorry
I had a
butt kicked
teammate
out the
hold me
game?
back. He told me to chill.
Sounds like a wise fella to win in this league. You need all hands on deck. Good call. Check it.
Resident Evil 1 is some of my favorite dialogue, I think, because you almost became a Jill sandwich. It's like so much bad dialogue. There's like a video that's got them all together, all the bad dialogue, and it's just so bad. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, that's the classic one. The first Resident Evil. Some of my favorites are in Mortal Kombat 4. That game had pre-rendered video endings or whatever, and the voice acting in those are awesome.
Going somewhere, Jarek?
Jax! I thought you were going to.
Thought I was what? Dead? Like my partner you just tossed off the cliff?
I'm sorry, Jax. Please, don't drop me. Wait, I promise.
Too late, Jarek.
You can't drop me. You have to uphold the law. You have to arrest me. Wait, this is brutality. You can't do it.
Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.
I mean, that NBA game is, I would never have known because I never played it. So it's always fun when you actually get a game and then you discover how shitty the voice acting is. Because I don't play NBA games, although I used to play NBA Jam. That was fun.
Yeah.
I used to love those games. I used to play Hang Time. Did you ever play Hang Time as well? That was good.
No, I only did NBA Jam. I remember because it had codes, right? Like you could, remember you could play as Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I do remember that.
There are some other stupid ones too. I feel like that was one I could actually play because I don't really do sports. So whenever I would play sports games, I just didn't understand the rules. And like NBA Jam was the one that just felt like arcadey enough that like, I think I kind of get this, but I didn't really know the teams or who was good or whatever.
That's amazing that you can go Bill Clinton in the game. I love that.
Yeah, who are all the secret characters in NBA Jam? Because it's all the fucking like 90s things. Hold on here.
Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, that's right. They were in that, I think.
The Clintons.
So what else is going on? So Michael, you're making some tunes?
Yeah, working on new music. Yeah, I'm back enjoying it again. Yeah, released last night. Remember the One Night Only show? Obviously, you were at it and did the interview at the end. So I released that on my YouTube channel. That's really about it. Hopefully the next time we have a call together, I'll have new music out.
Because normally you record with that, like, isn't there like that studio or that other guy you go to do your vocals and stuff? Like, do you still do that, or are you doing it at home?
Yeah. I always love to go and record my vocals elsewhere because it just lets me focus on singing and performing and not having to worry about technical nonsense. So I've worked with the same guy, Derek, for years, actually. He's a really nice guy. He was the guitarist at the show.
So you don't want to worry about the cats in the background if you do it at home?
Don't want to worry about the cats in the background.
Can you record at home?
I can, yeah. I do have a setup here if I had to, but he's got a studio full of wonderful toys in there. He's got these distressor compressors and preamps and things, and he's also got an amazing Bach microphone that I like to use, but I'm paying for him because he knows what he's doing. He's just brilliant. So yeah, I always recommend to people, if you can, then always go and record somewhere with somebody that knows what they're doing, because it will pay for itself.
What about you, Florence? Are you making something?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh. Secrets.
I have some songs that are in various stages of production. I don't know, it might be a full length.
Ooh. You gonna record your vocals at Derek's house?
No.
Or his studio, I should say. His house. Just go to his kitchen. Start singing.
I don't know. I have a friend who is going to possibly lend me a higher end microphone to record in. I don't know if I'm gonna try and do it here in my apartment or if I'm gonna just try and do it in a studio, but we'll see. I gotta write these top lines first, though.
The acoustics okay? They sound okay when you're talking.
No, actually, the acoustics here suck. So I'm gonna have to figure it out, because I have there's a lot of concrete in here, which is not good for recording. So I'd have to maybe set up some curtains or something. I do have a microphone shield, but that won't fix all of the problems.
Just wrap yourself in a blanket and just bring the microphone in with you. Just throw.
Yeah, I'll just throw a blanket over me. I'll look it's fine. I'll look like a homeless person.
That's okay. That's what's going on outside your apartment, right?
I know. So I'll look like everyone outside.
Yeah, just go join them and take a shit.
Yep, that's
the streets of LA. Listen, I want to listen to a song, and then we'll keep chatting. So I got one here. What should we listen to? Oh, I got a cool one here from an artist called INTERDIT, which is a French word. It means forbidden or not permitted. Although I don't think this artist is French, but it is indeed a French word, INTERDIT. And this is a cool song. This is Believe in Me, the instrumental version by INTERDIT. And that was INTERDIT with Believe in Me, the instrumental version. And I'm here right now in the Beyond Synth round table with Marko and Florence and Michael, who's been busy sabotaging speed cameras in his local area.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It's just it's the highlight of my fortnight is that speed camera getting cut down.
So what's like? So there's a speed camera that's like near your house, but like, is the person literally cutting it down? Like,
so should probably maybe backtrack and say the story. So
explain for the people who have no idea what we're talking about.
So a few months ago, a speed camera got installed outside my house.
Oh, so it's new. It's just completely new.
It's a completely new. There's a school across the road from where I live, and they put a camera up. And a couple of weeks ago, a local hero in the middle of the night decided to cut it down. So they must have got a ticket. They must have been they must have been salty. Anyway, so I'm lying in my bed and I can hear and this is like 11:30 at night, and then all I heard was boom and then smash, and I fell asleep and didn't think anything of it. But I was thinking, who's doing like maintenance work at this time of night? Has one of the power lines came down, but our power's still on, so like there's not any issue. And then the next day, woke up in the local community group that I'm in on Facebook. Someone had posted a photograph of the camera lying down, hurt on the ground.
lying
in the ground, hurt,
tired.
And it was someone had basically cut down the camera in the middle of the night, but also turned out that the same person had cut down another 2 cameras in the local area. Obviously he thought, I've had enough of this, and decided to get revenge. Anyway, so last week they put up another camera to replace it. The following day it had been cut down. The same person has cut the camera down again. And it got removed, so I don't know if they're going to put it back up again.
Well, they're probably going to put a camera up, right?
The thing is, the company that puts the cameras up, I thought it was, the local town council, but it's actually a private company that owns the cameras. So they make 75% of the revenue of the camera.
Interesting.
And there was statistics that were released. $2 million have been pulled in from the cameras in our local area alone.
What?
Yeah.
But you're not in like a dense populated area, are you?
No, but people speed. They don't give a fuck.
Well, someone does.
So it's kind of... They have these cameras everywhere in Australia, Michael, and it's a major revenue thing. It's crazy. I've spent so much money over the years on that. And it's not even like driving crazy or anything. It's just 5 miles over. It's not even 5 miles. It's 5 kilometers over the speed limit. Here's a $100 fine and fucking... It's crazy.
Oh, dude, then I'm glad there's none around here, because my amateur driving skills, the one thing I cannot do still, and it drives me nuts, is I cannot regulate my speed properly. So like just the amount of pressure you have to put on the gas pedal, again, when you learn to drive when you're 40, all these things are just fucking weird. And it's like, it's so sensitive, the changes. And when I look at the speed as I'm driving, especially when I go past like the police station, and it's like right outside of my town, it's like 60 kilometers an hour, then it switches to 80. And then as I'm going, I'll look, okay, I'm doing 79, got to press a bit harder on the pedal to go a bit faster. Then I look down again, fucking doing 90. I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, and I keep going up and down because my car doesn't have cruise control.
Oh, I was going to say that. Yeah.
That's the one thing. Now I'm thinking, like, if I ever get a new vehicle, which again, I don't know where that money would come from, but if I did, cruise control will be like number one thing on the list. Like, cause I can't do it. And I feel bad because I feel like I'm making the people behind me upset, and like, it makes me self-conscious because like, I'll just be going like 85, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, 86, 87, and then all of a sudden 92, fuck, slow down, and then I'll drop below the limit because like I'm just fucking shitty at it. And
that's funny because like I feel like I never pay attention to what speed I'm going because I don't know, like in Los Angeles you go the speed that feels the safest and the quickest. But I mean, unless you're on the freeway, and then like, yeah, if you're going like too fast, then you should slow the fuck down. But hey, if we're all going the same speed, they can't catch us all, right?
That's the thing. That's why I don't hate traffic. Because when I finally get to like the small little town here where all the shops are and stuff, you know, you're just driving behind people, so you just go the same speed as the car in front of you.
Right.
And like that I'm fine with. It's just when we're on the open road, I'm just horrible at it, and I haven't learned anything. And if I wear different shoes, it changes the pressure you put on the fucking...
Oh yeah, don't wear flip-flops when you drive.
Oh,
I mean, I don't
shit.
And I don't think you're... Are you flip-flops guy?
No, I'm
drive in
picturing because your flop goes underneath the pedal. Is that what happens?
Oh, yeah. And plus, like, you know, your foot can just fall out of the flip-flop. It's weird in LA. So we used to have a bunch of traffic cameras, but they got rid of a lot of them because they would actually cause more accidents. Because people would stop short because they were too worried about going through the light, or they would like all of a sudden see the camera and be like, oh shoot, I have to like stop doing what I'm doing, and they would get in an accident. So they actually got rid of a ton of them. And also I don't know if this is true, but there was this rumor, like I never got caught on one, which is cool, but there's this rumor, if you did get a ticket in the mail, you could just ignore it or something. I don't know. All these like weird Los Angeles like traffic lore.
I'm always like a guilty conscience kind of person. And so whenever you get a letter sent from like, or like the internet, like, we caught you downloading Game of Thrones or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I guess I won't do that anymore. And then meanwhile, I'll have another friend just like, you know, they can't do anything, right? And like, cause I remember I got letters like that before for like other things, and I feel so bad. And then just have another friend who's just like, it doesn't matter. Like fucking just don't pay it or whatever. Don't pay the fee or don't pay the fine. I'm like, that's an option? Mm-hmm. You can do that? Like, just not pay? And
doesn't matter.
Is that from the upcoming album?
That's from NSYNC, Andy.
Oh my God, Andy.
Come on.
Yeah, fuck me, right? Listen, the only NSYNC song I liked was Bye Bye Bye, and I used to be able to do the dance.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
That's a good song.
Yeah, and I could do the dance. They like hop 3 times and then put their one arm in the air. And...
You're going to take a video of that?
No. I'll fucking probably break my back. I fucking slept funny and my neck's been fucked for a week, so...
Ouch.
It's funny, ever since I've healed from my back ordeal, my back feels great.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
I haven't had like a good back for years.
Oh, you haven't gotten good back? I give great back. Or so I've been told.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, by the way. Continue.
I don't know what that means either.
It's a sex thing.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
I don't know. It is now.
Innuendo.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Who's got the sirens?
The joke police are on their way.
Yeah, that's the...
Is that what that noise was?
Yeah. There's a siren outside.
Yeah.
It's here in LA.
Okay.
Ah.
The helicopter's going to come.
Somebody shitting in the street
The
again.
helicopter's going to come soon.
You had a whole ordeal. You sent us video of like, there was like, 15 cops or something arresting some dude, and...
Yeah, just one guy in a red shirt.
Some young guy in a red shirt.
That's the key.
I threw out the number 15 cops because I was like, that's a high enough number. But I think I legitimately counted 13 cops. I don't know why there were 13.
Maybe the guy was on PCP.
I mean, there are plenty of people who I'm pretty sure are drugged out pretty close to where I live. So.
And you had a helicopter right outside your window?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I always have helicopters right outside my window. This one was just particularly close, and it was like at eye level, and I'm like, don't crash into my building, please. Thank you. But I see like 6 helicopters a day. Like, that's not a weird thing.
6 a day?
Yeah, no, there's a ton in LA. Because when I lived in New York, it was like you never see helicopters.
Nah, it's too dangerous probably.
If I was in the city, I would occasionally see one, but it would be like, whoa, it's a helicopter. That's so cool. But like LA just has a shit ton of helicopters. I think one of the reasons why is just because it's so hard to get around with traffic. So LAPD, I think they spend like some absurd amount of money on their helicopters or something. But like the traffic is terrible here, so it's like...
Yeah,
it would make sense that they're helicopters. But there's like downtown has a lot of high rises, but the rest of LA is pretty spread out, pretty sprawling, as the people say.
Yeah.
So
they do say that.
Yeah, they do. This isn't interesting at all.
Well, let's listen to another song, and then maybe we can fucking wind down, because we have been, well, some of us have been talking for quite a while.
Yeah, Michael.
Shame.
Yeah, not naming names.
Right, let's just play some low.
I don't think I have a Lao here.
You don't have Lau here?
Featuring low.
No. Let's play. I'm cutting that out.
No, I love that. No.
I got a cool one here from Tronica. This is Exalt. All right, and that was Exalt by Tronica on this Beyond Synth round table. It's always great to get everybody together for brunch, and we're here with Marko and Florence and Michael, and yeah, we can probably
wind down.
We can probably fucking wind down. Michael, is there something you want to say? 'Cause you were
well. I was going to just ask him. So, what TV are you guys highlights are you watching right now? Anything noteworthy that you felt was worth talking about?
Well, we already talked about Fallout.
Yes, which is good. So watch that. It's good.
I did watch the first episode of Fallout last night, and it was good. So I'm gonna keep on watching that.
It's weird though too. You know, when I start to see repetition, like where I'll read reviews, and I get the impression that no one has their own opinion. Like they just see what other people are saying and then like repeat
Copy and paste.
Yeah, because I saw this review, and I think I read several reviews of Fallout where they're like, but the show kind of spins its wheels for the middle episodes because what really matters is like the first episode and the final episode. And I thought all the episodes were good. And I read that with several reviews, and I'm like, what is this new generation of people who they watch like 8 episodes, and just because all 8 don't happen to like really like super push forward like plot twists or whatever, that it means it's like spinning its wheels? I'm like, dude, like imagine these reviewers watching X-Files or something where it's like, like there's 24 episodes and not all of them are about the alien story, right? Like,
so you finished Fallout, you watched the whole show?
Florence finished it. I still have the finale. I'm watching the finale tonight.
And did you like, up till what you've seen, you were happy with it?
Yeah, no, it's a good show, man. And like I was saying before, just as far as like being a person who's actually played the games, it's super accurate. The most accurate adaptation I've ever seen.
And I'm a person who has never played the games, and I fully enjoyed it without knowing any of the lore.
Yeah, so it's good. It strikes a good balance. I think the budget looks good. I think I liked all the characters. It's fucked up in a way that's like, it is a bit, I know people say it's like a bit cynical or mean-spirited just because the violence is pretty like unsentimental. Like people just get limbs blown off and things and stuff, and they just sort of treat it like nothing, and sometimes it's treated for comedy, like a lot of the violent stuff. Like even though this show does have like pretty serious things that happen and serious themes, but then like there is moments where the violence is treated very
flippantly.
But I like that. Like
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, the way it's treated is fine. It's not like it's really happening.
Yep.
It's not like a gymnast. Nope, we're not going there.
Fuck you.
Not like a guy setting himself on fire. Nope.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Fuck.
We're done.
Yeah. Well, Michael, you're watching the fucking horror stories shows, aren't you?
Well, we started watching American Crime Story first, and it was from that, because it's the same people that are behind American Horror Story. We decided to take the plunge and start watching that. So yeah, I love it. The crime story stuff's really good. The first season is about O.J. Simpson, and then the second season is really good. That's set in Miami. It's about the guy who killed Gianni Versace, which is quite interesting. It's very good. So yeah, I definitely recommend those. If you've never seen American Crime Story, then watch all 3 seasons. They're great.
Are you excited about the sequel to The Jinx?
I am, because I think The Jinx is probably the best true crime documentary I've ever seen, with the ending that shocked me the most.
I'm a little skeptical about how they're going to extend the story.
Yes, exactly. It's like that's what I'm curious
it's
about.
The aftermath of what they uncovered, and because he ended up getting put in prison, he got convicted.
Right.
And then he died while he was before he even really had to serve time.
I would love it if they just follow up on one of the best true crime things with just a complete fiction. Like they just fucking fake everything, like just for part 2, just like, and then he broke out of prison. He like goes on this spree, and it's all fucking AI generated shitty looking video of like,
honestly, that would be amazing.
And then he set himself on fire and fucking just
oh shit.
That'd be so awesome. Look, I guess we can fucking can wrap up. Do you want to have some clothing thoughts? You want to have some clothing thoughts? Do you got any clothing thoughts, Marko?
I have some clothing thoughts. I can't wait to wear less in the summertime. I'm sick of the cold, and that's about it for me, yeah.
Got any special plans?
No, I'm going to maybe play some Star Fox this weekend. I'm still playing Baldur's Gate 3, which I'm enjoying a lot. And I don't know, I might try Perfect Dark. I still have to finish that again on 00 Agent. Is there, whatever the hard mode is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
brother?
yeah. That one you're going to really need some fucking guides for.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm sure. First few levels aren't too bad, and then it starts getting a little crazy.
Yeah, well, no, even level 2. There's some shit in that level, if you don't know, because there's one where there's a door that just doesn't open unless you follow a little cleaning robot, and the door only opens.
Oh, yeah, I remember
and it only
that.
opens when the cleaning robot's there, and so sometimes you're just like waiting for like 2 minutes, going like, what's supposed to be happening right now? And it's because the robot's kind of like on its way.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all good. Florence.
Yeah.
You got any clothing thoughts?
I do, actually. See, I have this problem that I have like 95% of my wardrobe is all black. When I have all of my black shirts in my drawer, I can't see them. So I like, if I fold them, they just get unfolded because I have to like dig through my drawer every time. I have this like mess of black shirts and I don't know which one is which. And it's very frustrating. And I just end up wearing the same black shirt again and again.
Do you ever wear colors?
I have like a couple shirts that have color on them. Like I have this like burgundy shirt that I wear sometimes.
I hope the listeners enjoy clothing thoughts. I'm gonna get AI to generate a little theme song for this.
Good. I have a purple shirt. I'm trying to think. I'm like looking at some of my clothes.
Well, I used to do that too. I used to be all black, and then there's part of me that just was like, maybe I should just inject color on purpose. And so I don't like wearing shirts with logos. So I just go on Amazon now and buy like their generic hoodie or their like generic t-shirt, and I just get it in different colors. Like when I get the fit I like.
Yeah, like I have so many band t-shirts and like so many. I have like a bunch of wrestling t-shirts from when I was into pro wrestling, and I barely wear them because like I feel weird.
Which wrestlers? Which ones?
There are a lot of like indie wrestlers, like for like WWE wrestlers. I think somebody got me like a Seth Rollins shirt. Oh, well, there's this guy who went by Tommy End, who then went to WWE and he became Aleister Black. And I think he's like called something else now. But I have a bunch of Tommy End shirts because he was all into like Satan. And like all his shirts were like, they looked like metal shirts. So I was like, these are cool. And so I have like Tommy End shirts. I don't know.
I have no frame of reference for the era of wrestling that you were into.
It's fine.
Because mine is all the fucking Attitude Era, even though I didn't watch wrestling, but that's when I played the game. So like for me, it's all like, you know, that era with The Rock and Stone Cold and fucking...
Oh, I do have a Mankind shirt, and it's like a picture of a cage, and it says one small step for man or something underneath. I don't know. It says something like that because Mankind jumped off the cage. Yeah. For those who don't know. That's not interesting.
Well, that was some good clothing thoughts. How about you, Michael?
I was going to tell you all a joke about yoga, but never mind. It's a bit of a stretch.
Oh my God.
Is that the end of clothing thoughts?
Yeah. I tell you, just talking about wrestling, if you ever want a really good true crime kind of documentary, there's a Netflix show about Hulk Hogan's sex tape. And if you're looking for one of the true crime shows, a bit like The Jinx, where the ending is totally like, whoa, that's one of them. Because, long story short, somebody contacted Hulk Hogan and a multi-millionaire offered to bankroll his legal team. He didn't tell him why. He just said he would be willing to do that. And he basically was a guy that had been wronged by that media company 15 years earlier, and he wanted to bankrupt the company. So he flung all of his money into bankrolling Hulk Hogan's legal team to basically get rid of that news agency who had posted salacious articles about the guy being gay, essentially, and the guy got his revenge through Hulk Hogan, and the company did have to go bankrupt. It's a brilliant story of revenge. I love revenge stories.
You must be really excited for the new Crow movie coming out.
Andy, I don't know.
Did you watch the trailer? I know we got to say goodbye, but I'm just saying, that movie looks like garbage. And I love The Crow. So
I mean, universally, everyone hates it. I don't think anyone has said anything good about it.
No one. That's what's amazing. Go to YouTube and look at the trailer and look at the comments. They're all bad. Like, there's not a single one that's like, fucking, this looks pretty cool. They're all just like, and even the ones that are in broken English, you know, where it's just like, only Brandon Lee is good, you know, like just things like that. Like, no one wants this thing.
We're going to cut this out of the final edit. It does look like a steaming pile of dung. I mean, it really is.
It will be.
Just a little side note, because it made me think of like a good revenge movie. Have any of you seen a Vince Vaughn movie called Brawl in Cell Block 99?
Is it on Tubi?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Great
Yeah,
movie. Brilliant.
pretty brutal. Yeah,
Brutally, but it's wonderful revenge story. I love a revenge movie.
I think I saw the cover, but the cover looked cheap. Doesn't it have a cheap-looking cover that looks like a straight-to-video kind of weird cover?
It is, but don't be fooled. It's a great movie. Don Johnson's in it.
Oh.
Don Johnson's in it. I mean,
It's got the Don Johnson seal of approval.
yeah. I mean, if he's in it, must be okay.
Well, listen, everybody have a lovely day.
you too.
And keep on being cool. And maybe the next time we do one of these things, we'll have some Michael Oakley music to listen to. Maybe we'll have some Glitbiter music to listen to.
Yes, that's the goal.
Yeah,
Maybe Marko will have his album out.
Yeah, I'll create some shit with some AI. That's about the best you're gonna get, mate.
Well, some of
We'll
it
give
can
you the
get pretty
nightclub
good,
thing.
man.
Oof, it's getting scary.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, well, I'm not going to end this show on some fucking deep thought here, but
Brandon Lee forever.
yeah. Anyways, everybody have a lovely day, and we'll talk soon.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right, we did it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna hit stop.
All right, good work.
Oh, God.
Beyond Synth Radio is produced by Andy Last. Check the show notes for more information on the musicians featured on the show. Consider supporting Beyond Synth at patreon.com/BeyondSynth. Thanks for listening.